Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma has filed a criminal defamation suit in a court in Assam's Kamrup district against Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia for accusing the Aam Aadmi Party minister. He's accusing the Aam Aadmi Party minister of malpractices while giving a contract for personal protective equipment. This was a charge by Manish Sisodia on Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma, and he's now filed a defamation case against this. Now, this charge was against his wife, Himanta Biswa Sarma's wife, Rinki Sharma's company. Mr. Sisodia has had alleged that Mr. Sarma awarded a contract for PPE kits to a company linked to his wife, and he grossly overpaid for this care. Now, let's listen in to what the Advocate General of Assam said on this.
Defamation was suffered by two persons individually. It is at individual level. So, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma, he was aggrieved and he was defamed by the allegations leveled against him by Dr. Manish Sisodia in Delhi in the press conference. So, his individual reputation is at stake. It has been affected. So, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma has two options legally. He can file both civil and criminal defamation, or he can file a civil defamation, or he can file a criminal defamation. Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma has taken a decision to file the case, not claiming any compensation in monetary terms. He wanted that the allegations leveled by him, he has put a challenge to Mr. Sisodia that you come and prove it. If it is proved, then he will win the case.
My colleague Ratnadeep joins us for more on this. Ratnadeep, give us the details of this defamation case that's filed, and also take us through the background of the allegations that were leveled by Manish Sisodia.
That's right. In fact, this defamation case has been filed yesterday at the Chief Judicial Magistrate Court in Kamrup district, which is just adjacent to Guwahati. Now, this has been filed by the Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma against Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia. And in this case, Himanta Biswa Sarma has alleged that Mr. Sisodia has defamed Mr. Sarma in the June 4th press conference that Mr. Sisodia had organized in Delhi, where he allegedly accused Mr. Sarma that during the period of the pandemic, there were anomalies in the allocation of tenders for supplying of PPE, and there were, the prices were grossly hiked. Now, at that point of time, Mr. Sarma was the Health Minister of Assam, and Mr. Sisodia had alleged that Mr. Sarma had favored his wife's company for supply of PPE kits. However, both Mr. Sarma and his wife, Rinki Sharma, had refuted all these allegations. Rather, Mr. Sarma had said that not a single penny was given, and rather that company had donated PPE kit to the NHM Assam. And at that point of time, actually Mr. Sarma had said that he will challenge this legally. In fact, there was a Twitter war of words between Mr. Sarma and Mr. Sisodia at that point of time. And only last week, Chief Minister's wife, Assam Chief Minister's wife, Rinki Sharma, had also filed a civil defamation case against the Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia, a civil defamation case of 100 crores. That was filed, and yesterday, now the Chief Minister has also filed a separate case. It is a criminal defamation, and if Mr. Sisodia is proved guilty, then he might have to face imprisonment up to 2 years. Now, the court has given the date for the first hearing of the case on 22nd of July, and that day Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma will depose at the court and put forward his argument for the defamation petition, and after that, if the court feels it to be a case of criminal defamation, then the court might summon Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia for the hearing.
Right, Ratnadeep. We'll of course keep tracking this case, but also when the Delhi minister made these allegations, he said that he had the documents to prove that there were these, to prove these allegations and to back these allegations against the Assam Chief Minister and his wife. So what were the documents that he talked about now, and what's the Assam Chief Minister's clarification or justification on that?
Well, the press conference that Manish Sisodia had held at that point of time, he had, quoted the reports which had come into portals, an Assamese news portal from Assam and English news portal, national news portal from Delhi. And in those two portals, in a series of stories, they had, put up news stories based on RTI documents, where they claimed that the prices of the PPE kit were basically were much more for this particular company than other companies. But then there were later on, it was also found out through RTI that the supply of the PPE kit never happen, and therefore the order was cancelled. So therefore, these were the documents that Mr. Sisodia actually relied upon in terms of bringing those allegations in the press conference. However, Assam Chief Minister and the Assam government had made it clear that there was at that point of time no supply, so no supply of the PPE kits in the rates which were quoted in the documents, and therefore there was no payment made to the company concerned, which happens to be that of his wife, and therefore the Assam Chief Minister has claimed that there was not a single penny paid to that particular company, as claimed by Mr. Sisodia. So,
right.
And that point of time, there was a Twitter war of words, and now it seems that this war is going to be fought in the courtrooms.
Right, Ratnadeep. Thanks for joining us with those details.